Hey, how's it going, bros? My name is Aaron, and today we're going to compare the Jabra Elite 65T retailing for $170 to the Samsung Galaxy Buds retailing for $130. We're going to compare the sound quality, we're going to compare the audio to video latency when you're watching videos and playing video games. Which one has more lag? This is what we're going to find out. But first, let's go over some specs. Now, they're both quite similar in some ways. Both of them support Bluetooth 5.0 and AC codec. But the Samsung Galaxy Buds, being the much newer model here, also supports features such as USB-C fast charging, wireless charging, so you can place it on a Qi compatible wireless charging pad and charge it right off the bat. It also has more juice in the buds themselves. 6 hours of juice in the buds compared to the 5 hours in the Jabra Elite 65T. But the Elite 65T is better in some ways that may justify its $40 price difference with the Samsung Galaxy Buds. For example, whether you're an iOS or Android, you can access all of the features in the Elite 65T. And I'll give you two examples, okay? Number one, the Jabra Sound Plus app. An app which lets you customize the Jabra's EQ settings with a sophisticated 5-band equalizer, access other cool features as well as software updates. Available on both iOS and Android. So it doesn't matter which phone you use, you can access all these cool features through the app. The Samsung Galaxy Buds, no such freedom. The app is only available on Android. So if you're on iOS, you cannot customize its EQ, you cannot do software updates unless you plug the earbuds into a PC. And number two, with the 65T's button control scheme, you get access to all of the controls you will ever need on the earbuds. For example, music controls, you can pause, play, skip your music, call controls, ambient sound pass-through, as well as volume controls, and of course access to voice assistants as well. The Samsung Galaxy Buds, however, yes, it's got that very nice touch control scheme, it's very sophisticated, but its control scheme is very limited. You can only do music controls, call controls, access voice assistants. For volume controls and ambient sound pass-through, you will need to go into the Samsung wearable app to activate them, and that app is only available on Android. And it's very weird, with the Samsungs, you cannot have it all. You cannot do voice assistant, ambient sound pass-through, and volume controls all at once. You can only pick either one of them, which is very limited compared to the Elite 65T. And of course, with the 65Ts, you get other benefits as well, such as a slightly longer battery life. This has got 5 hours in the buds, 10 hours of charge in the case, total 15 hours. This has got 6 hours, and 7 hours of charge in the case. I almost forgot. 7 hours of charge. So in total, 13 hours. This is also IPX5 water resistant. This Samsung is not saying how water resistant it is, but some people are saying that this could be like IPX2 water resistant, which is not as great as IPX5. And lastly, these are optimized for phone calls. 4 microphones in total, 2 in each earbud, so you can expect much better phone call quality compared to the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Now, let's go into the sound quality comparison, and then we'll do the latency test for both Android and iOS, okay? This is gonna be so interesting. Let's do it. Okay, first I'm gonna try the Jabra Elite 65T, and then I'm gonna switch over to the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Both of them are set to 50% volume and flat EQ settings, okay? It still sounds as good as before. I mean, I've reviewed this. This is not my first time listening to the 65T, but it still sounds as tight as ever, as clean as ever, as smooth as ever. It's a very smooth sound. Not a lot of gravitas, but I think it's something that you can fix in the Sound Plus app, you know, the EQ settings. Okay, so let's switch over to the Galaxy Buds. I feel that the 65Ts have a better fit. I mean, the Galaxy Buds, they fit pretty well, quite stable, but these feel a lot more snug. Okay, I might need to raise the volume of the Galaxy Buds a bit. Okay, so this is like 60% volume. Okay, the Galaxy Buds sound almost just as good as the 65Ts, but a few points in mind. It is softer, so at the same volume level, at 50% volume, the Galaxy Buds were quite a little bit softer than the 65Ts. I had to push the volume up to about 60%. Even so, the bass wasn't as punchy. I mean, they both don't have really deep, rich gravitational bass. So you hear a lot more of the upper bass registers in these earbuds. And even so, the 65T just sounds a little more punchy, a little more enjoyable in that area. I also feel that the 65Ts have a livelier sounding mid-range. Mid-range just feels a lot more loud, a lot more clear, a lot more rich than the Galaxy Buds. The Galaxy Buds are like, the mid-range just feels a little more flat, and that is quite true of the higher frequencies as well. The 65Ts do sound a lot more dynamic, brighter, but at a price point of $130, the Samsung Galaxy Buds still sounds quite good. Okay, now let's switch over to the 65T. Let's confirm what we just heard. Okay, I want to correct something that I said about the bass. I think the Jabra Elite 65T's bass performance is a lot better than the Samsung Galaxy Buds. I mean, these ones have so much more gravitas, but other than that, I think my assessment of the sound quality is spot on. Okay, so let's proceed with the latency test. So as before, we're going to start off with the Elite 65T, and then we're going to switch over to the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Let's see how much lag there will be if I play PUBG on an Android phone, okay? There's a bit of lag there. Yeah, okay. Okay, zoom in. Here, see? Wouldn't impact gameplay that much, but yeah, it's a noticeable lag. Okay, so Samsung Galaxy Buds. It seems like the 65Ts have a little better latency performance than the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Slightly better. As in the Galaxy Buds is slightly worse than the 65T. Okay, so now that we're using an iPhone, I expect that latency performance should be more consistent on both earbuds. After all, both earbuds support AAC codec. The iPhone is optimized for use with the AAC codec, which is by Apple. So let's begin. Let's start off with the Jabra Elite 65T. Seems quite similar to when we were firing shots on the Android device, the Oppo R17 Pro. Okay, Samsung Galaxy Buds. Wait, let me raise the volume. Okay. Quite similar to the Elite 65T, but the latency performance is a lot closer to the 65T on iOS compared to Android, if you notice. I think it's quite safe to conclude that the Jabra Elite 65T, despite being $40 more expensive than the Samsung Galaxy Buds, do carry certain heavy advantages over the Galaxy Buds. For example, I think it just sounds better than the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Sounds more lively, more dynamic, better bass, more gravitas, more punchy. The Galaxy Buds just sounds a little more flat out of the box. The 65Ts also have slightly better latency performance than the Galaxy Buds, despite the fact that they both support AAC codec. And not to mention its slightly longer total battery life, its water resistance, the access that you get to all of its features, regardless of whether you're on iOS or Android, makes the Elite 65T a very, very strong contender. But that's not to say that you shouldn't consider the Galaxy Buds. The Samsung Galaxy Buds is a much newer product, so you get all the latest features such as USB-C fast charging, wireless charging. The Buds also contain slightly more juice than the 65Ts, 6 hours compared to 5 hours. To be frank, I prefer the look and feel of the Galaxy Buds. This just looks a little more, more sleek and clean compared to the more executive, industrial look of the 65Ts. But probably the best thing about the Galaxy Buds is the price. $130 and you're getting features and performance that you don't normally get at this price point. So if you would ask me to choose between them, it's gonna be a very tough choice for me because there is simply too much to like about the both of them. But I want to know what you guys think. Galaxy Buds or Elite 65T? Tell me in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. So bros, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please punch that like button and share this video with your friends. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and remember to ring the bell to join notification squad because I upload videos every single week. And this is the only way that YouTube will notify you, so ring the bell. Thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.